So real stuff. Alright, how about this? So, here we are. Here we all are. Alright? We are on this giant round-ish plant ball. It's spinning. It's got another ball, smaller, spinning with it. It's all behind this giant fireball caught in its gravity pull, so sun is here and things are doing this rotation, just traveling. You know, sun is just here, and this is all what you see is the rotation of Earth, and this is how fast this one goes. And that's what you're seeing, but this flaming ball is what you're not seeing in the front, flying through space at freaking 50 freaking zillion miles an hour, etc. Exaggeration. But that's the image that is not seen, is that. The image we see is the sun. And we see this image of this pattern of how each one, this is the speed this rotates at. This is the speed this rotates at. You know, we see this. But what we're not seeing is this fireball in the front just hurling through the freaking space right now. The universe. It is just gunning for it. Just hammered down, shipping it UPS, you know. And here's that. What you're seeing from this, that perfect little thing, it's just laid out, and it's just, they're sprawled all out in this gravitational pull, you know, the suction. As this is going, here's it's doing its thing, this fireball is just flaming, zooming, flying through space, zillions of miles an hour. That's why you think of things when you say, oh, something passed us. That's not even correct. Nothing passed us. We pass everything. We're traveling at a zillion fucking miles an hour, you know? We're not just, you know, we didn't just, everything that's in our shit has been in our shit, you know? Whether that passed us, that's something else. But this idea that, like, just something just came into our galaxy, and just all of a sudden it just blew by us. Oh, it was a fraction. It could have been from anywhere. No, we've fucking been tracing it for the last 73 freaking 100 years. So here we are. We're on this giant freaking ball. Look at this fucking thing. This is a giant plant ball in space. This is it. This is the fucking place. This is Earth. Alright? Got these fucking goddamn trees. There's like sap coming out of it. Fucking leaves and shit everywhere. Sand and soft dirt. This is fucking Earth. Alright? This is a giant plant ball. This thing is just, if you look at its like lifespan of this giant plant ball that we're on, this thing is just fluctuating, going through stages. This thing will wipe everything out in a fucking heartbeat, and like volcanoes will start erupting and just like cover out the whole thing. Like, this thing is just a madhouse. Absolute, this is a fucking madhouse. Advanced civilizations are striving to build something large enough to get off of a planet. You don't live on a planet. They're fucking destructive. You live on a mothership. Fucking, if it was the dream civilization. But here we are. On this fucking thing. Alright? Things hunting us down and shit. You know? Fucking lightning strike just straight through me. Blew me in 1,000 pieces. I'm vaporized. You know what I mean? Raging fucking ocean right there. I put my foot in. Something's gonna try and fucking eat that. Like, everything is just, we're on this giant plant ball that is just this constant evolving, crazy, shifting temperature thing, to where it goes into an ice age. It blows all its volcanoes and goes into an ice age. Like, how many times? Like, like, there goes all the volcanoes. Next thing you know, it throws itself into like 150,000 years of ice covering this whole bitch. Like, it's just moving. It's shaking and fucking baking is my point, right? So what's the point? Here we are. On this crazy shit. And now, just like it always does, it's gonna do some fucked up shit, and it's gonna render life on the surface of this planet, for human beings, maybe for everything, not habitable. Just like it always fucking does, because it's a giant fucking goddamn fuck show here, you know? I'm trying to tell you, human beings, you earthlings need to get off this bitch. This bitch will eat you alive. But I like your tobacco. So, staying on the point is that that's not the point. That's nothing. If you think that that was anything that I've just said, then you're stuck at fucking go, almost. And I have love for you, because maybe I played that up and I was like, oh, maybe this is the fucking whole show. But those who are just like, you know what I'm trying to say, who weren't thinking that, because this is it. We're here, right? Well, just as the Earth does, and as a planet does what it does, it blows all its volcanoes, throws it into a freaking super like ice age, and nothing on the surface is gonna live. Tomorrow it starts. And within 30 days, it's over and it's in full ice age. And everything's dead. You literally just, muscle tissue just freezes on instant. It's all dead. A zillion ways it could happen. And my point of it is that some will retreat into caves. Some will figure out a way to retreat if you can keep your fucking head above water. If you stay above water with your head, then you can go under. Like, maybe you have to keep People will find a way to survive, is my point. You go into caves. You go where it's warmer underneath. You go where there's edges to where it's like still getting cascading water that's still making plants grow. These plants' nutrient levels are so dense that you can eat five leaves and be done for the day, you know, and there's just endless amounts for civilization to grow. The amount of cave networks under the planet of Earth is so vast that it's unimaginable. Lava flow tubes could be the size of Yankee Stadium and just running, you know, just going. It's just rolling, and that's just one. So vast amounts of people could live underground. Point that when you get just to that stage of this conversation, that stage of the debate, of that stage of the thing, you're going to realize it's here that love is the only thing that they take in with them now. You don't take hate. That's an impossible thing to do. Love is what people are holding on to through this. People aren't sitting in a cave just holding on to hate and just raging and just throwing rocks and just fucking lunatics. You know? People are holding on to every ounce of love. Love becomes its own, like, you know, only like a religion, you know? In a way, its own like lifestyle, its own thing, to where it's just love is what lives forever. Hate will die off. You know, all the time. But love just continues, and that's what strives, that is the reason why humans are still here. And so going in to separate two stories would be like the story of people in caves and the story of what the condition of the planet is doing as they're running simultaneously beside each other. The planet's going to go into an ice age. So just think about that as a geologist. You're making huge, massive, miles thick sheets of ice, just not even sheets, it's just become like its own thing, and they're just shifting and moving throughout the entire planet at all times. Just what's happening? It's grinding down every skyscraper into literal dust. Everything you see will just be ground down to dust. None of the sculptures, none of the shit, none of the metals, none of that, nothing. Literally, what you see in time here, maybe tomorrow, maybe not. When you go into mountain ranges and you see like a rock, it has all the color layers, and oh, that's cool. You and your entire civilization, your internet, your posts on fucking Instagram and YouTube is all just going to be one tiny little colored layer in that rock. And there'll be 1,000 other on top of it, just like you. Just like that. It's all gone. Every single thing that ever represented a human being is ground literally to dust. And then just continuously ground to dust. And continuously for 150,000 years. When it only took a year. Now you got 150,000 more. Nothing lives that you see, that we created. Shall I say that? Our buildings, our computers, our titanium. All the statues. vids, you name it. When this ice age ends, out of the thousands that this planet will do, it'll grow up and look just like this. There will be nothing that ever showed sign of a human being anywhere. But the two stories beside each other, this whole time, these people are holding on to love. You know? They're surviving. But in that much time, a human body, just like everything else, it evolves. And we, as we see, evolve quick. We are having difficult debates on the speed in which the difference in human beings' evolution to other animals on this planet that define us to be different from them, not earthlings. You will evolve underground fast. What happens? You go underground. You ain't got shit but what you brought in. And if you brought in a big shaving kit, well then fuck yeah. Otherwise you're growing a beard and you're growing hair. You could start working with tools and stone little things and start cutting hair and like make a little freaking dashiki out of something. But at some point you're using resources to make a dashiki and to cut this hair. You're evolving. You know? That's just the initial thing. That's not even the evolution. But my point is you're evolving in that stage to where you're letting it grow. It's now growing more. Coming out like a Bigfoot, you know? Sometime in the cave, the lights, your actual black part of your eyeball will grow. Maybe it's just all black eyes that you just see better. But over these long periods of time, the humans will definitely evolve in skin tone. You could be shorter because you're always in the cave doing this. Who the fuck knows? But here now you're shorter. Your skin tones just went kind of gray and your eyes are just all black because you could see a little better, but you're a fucking human and you're covered in fucking hair. You're like a little hairy gray fucking weird thing. My point is that you're just going to be evolving because we will survive, you know. So then what? So then we have these like sacrificial humans that are going to the exit of the cave. They go out. Do they come back? Then after a while, some start returning. They're not dying. It's time to inhabit this planet's surface again, just like over and over and over. But in your time in living underground with the means that you have of nothingness, you're thriving. You have endless amounts of plants that are high nutrient dense and running water that is clean. You have everything to sustain endless amounts of people. You need nothing. You stand here. You start to, as a civilization based on love, start to live in this mindset of like, things become, as you would figure, more intuitive. Communications already between spouses are so non-verbal at points that one could say it's almost its own mind-reading thing. But my point is that you would develop your own ways over these times of communicating, and through your own connection of spirituality you're giving to other people, and not everything that once was your love now. That creates something. You come out of these caves now looking like a Bigfoot. You're going to inhabit this land again. How are you going to go about it this time? You know? Because the choices that we made in this particular run, if it were to just to happen now, would mean that we invested all of this time, all this energy, resources, mining, and everything, and nothing we did was for our mothership. Here we are again. On a fucking dangerous ass fucking thing. You know? When we know in our soul and everything about us that civilized civilizations live on motherships because of that's the safety. It's not this. This is Wild West. This is humans at the beginning. This is, you know. So if in that time period of when we come out and we start our evolutionary process again, because now we're exposed to all of this and we're growing oh so tall again, our hair drops, our hair is a lot less, and we start to look like this once again. Our skin changes to colors that represent sun effects, and here we are again. Our minds already know everything. Spiritually, we feel it in us. That's what we always speak about. That's the time when we were in the caves. It wasn't a communicated word. It was a spiritual sense that got passed on with this attempt. This is continuous. Lots of times you'll find on this planet with Earthlings that they rely so much on a scientific fact that was discovered. But if you notice the pattern of the way Earthlings handle things, you'll notice that every 10 to 20 years, that written in stone fact that people are basing all of this on will then change to something else. Another 10 to 20 years, that will change to something else more advanced, more advanced, more advanced. So relying on this, instead of seeing that it's going here, is what will be the downfall. We're stuck on this fucking wild kingdom, and I'm stuck on this bitch with a bunch of fucking Earthlings, goddamn assholes everywhere, talking about Sound of Music's racist. I'm just like, dude, put a fucking lid on it and go over there and sit with the fucking kids if you're gonna act all weird. Because out here, make decisions in life, whether you want to understand it or not. But you, me, everybody you see are people that are making decisions that are like pushing a civilization towards our mothership. It's an inevitable maneuver of a civilization. It's the instant thing that we realize when resources begin depleting. It's every single thing about what we do. Right? So if we're not striving towards that goal, we're in a cycle of... We're in a cycle. You know? If we don't break that cycle, just like 1,000 times before us, these facts we think we have, oh, well, this is the oldest person, and this is the oldest civilization. They know fuck all about anything, and that fact changes every 10 to 20 years anyway, whatever they're saying. As soon as you can accept that, then you are here. Otherwise, you're standing here with the fuckwads punching numbers, talking about, because I only punched this number and this is where I am, this is where I exist, instead of this is where I exist. These are the numbers that I'm punching in order to bring this to me. You understand? They feel this has to get there before that, before they can represent this. So you're sitting here in this just, what the fuck shit is this? That's because of that. scientists these days, mainstream scientists these days, shall I say, the absurdity of them to think they know when you look at the facts and you start to find that civilizations have existed. What was not ground down to dust that we can pull from, and how many back were in between? And you would look down and you would say, these layers are layers of human existence. Cities, buildings, computers, planes. Just scroll through endless amounts, and here we are again, just another, thinking that we are here. We are the first. We just turned into, we came from apes, or we came out of the fucking cave, and we had just as much intelligence, but we live different. What is technologically advanced? You know, what is it? It can't be defined on whether I have a gadget. It is not anything that has to do with that. The mindset operates in such a fashion that it's like the most craziest computer that ever existed, and etc. and all this shit. Yeah, that's because when you use your body and your spirit that is in this earth body, you achieve the same things without all of that. We're all just a fucking dust layer on that thing, sitting here fucking posting shit about this, and I'm not saying not to post. Look at me, I post everything. I'm just saying, like, it's just like, fuck. Literally just nothing. No one's ever gonna fucking come back and look and say, oh, well, if I break this fucking layer of dust particle down, I will see all their Instagram posts, and wow, I really like that outfit. Like, all fucking pointless shit. To walk around in this life and just have that as a mindset leads you back so far to where people in this frame and this group are just light years that way. This person just sitting here spinning, I took a picture, you take a picture, I took a picture, I take pictures, I love it all. I'm just saying, I'm using it as an example. To sit in any of this and to sit here and be like, oh, well, I'm just so oppressed, I'm like, you have a mind, a human being mind, which is this super powerful thing that creates its own universe in its own way. You oppress yourselves. Willingly by the who's, you know? Who wrote this then? Because I know sitting here as a Republican, I don't ever even remotely think about race. It never even comes up. Who the fuck is this? Who are these people making? They pick like 3 people. Like there's like 450,000 people standing here. The Republicans, they pick 3 who are a douchebag. This is Earth. Welcome to Earth, little children. Not everybody here is amazing. People suck sometimes. That's fucking life. You know, it doesn't. Oh, everybody sucks. Then no, those 3 dickheads sucked. So I don't know what they're talking about with all this fairy tale land shit. Everybody's all fucking, oh, I'm so oppressed and everything's racist. Like, you oppress yourselves, man. You have a mind. You have this powerful, this tool. You are a soul in an earth body on this spinning giant plant ball, following this fucking giant fireball through space. What are you speaking about? Oh, well, you know, Dr. Seuss has offended me. You then, good man, shall sit at the children's table, and I will check you later. It's offended. Guys, I'm like offended. Because Dr. Seuss, like, oh my god, like, Lord, Lord, Dr. Seuss, you see this? This is the book. I'm so offended. Ooh. I'm hammered. I'm lighting this cigarette. I got 3 left. I really shouldn't have smoked this. And I'm way out here.